Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Michael Regina. I'm the author and illustrator of the all-ages horror graphic novel The Sleepover, and this is the third video in my series on using solo role-playing games to outline your story. In the first video I gave you an introduction to this process and why I'm excited about it, outlined my general thoughts for it, and in the second video I played through the first session of story writing using my character August Scythe in the Vaesen role-playing game system, as well as various solo playing tools. And in this one I'm going to take you through the second session of play. I basically split the sessions up because I thought there was quite a bit of content here, and I thought it would be good to just see a second session where I continue to outline this process. So in this one I'm going to continue the adventure of August, and so you can see as she arrives to begin her investigative process, looking into this strange occurrence on this kind of farming or, estate, essentially. But if you haven't yet, I want to make sure to mention that you can sign up for my mailing list below to get a checklist document that you can use to get yourself set up using this system, as well as the template that I use for writing and outlining my stories. And you can also see the document that shows all the notes I've been taking as I've been building this out as well. So make sure you sign up for the mailing list below, and if you haven't yet, please like and subscribe. Most people here are not subscribers, and so if you're enjoying this content and find it helpful, please subscribe so that you can see the follow-up to this. After this video, there's going to be one more video outlining this section, and I'm just going to basically show how I bring the outline pieces together and write out a actual scene or a script using that document. Now I work within screenplay format, so that's mostly what I'm going to think about as I write a script. So we'll see how I bring this all together next time. But without further ado, I want to get you straight into the gameplay. So here's the second session for my character August Scythe as she begins her investigation. Okay, so I'm back to finish the first act of the story. I had to take a little bit of a break, but I want to finish up what we started. So I'm going to actually go ahead and start my next set of notes down in my session 2 area, where I ended. August and Tess were boarding a train to go out to the countryside to discover or to go learn more about this mystery. I set it up so that they're going to leave, go to this place, and meet some people along the way. So a few things that we want to add to this thread within this story is find out what is killing the wildflowers. And then we might find out if where we might say find out where find the missing person or figure out who killed this person. I don't know quite yet if someone's missing or dead. I'm going to figure this out in a moment. Find out what happened to the person. I also want to go down here and say that we have a character of Tess, who is August's aunt. I'm going to go ahead and add some relevant information here about her. So we know that Tess is the sister of August's father and that they both experienced a Vaesen encounter. I'm actually going to separate these into separate lines just for ease of reference. All right, so that's all I really need to set up in here at this point. Setting up what she takes with her on this trip. So she gathers up her items, maybe her journal, the book that her father wrote on Vaesen, sort of disproving them, and she heads off to the countryside and arrives at this mansion. Now I want to get a feel for like this mansion. What does this place feel like? And I want to use the Vaesen solo rules to get a feeling for this. So this is kind of cool. Like you use these wording prompts to help you get a good idea of a place or a location, or if you're feeling stuck within the story, to kind of help kickstart things. So we're going to use the rules directly as written, which means that we use a D66 and we do this 3 times. I'm going to choose 2 dice. Blue will be my 10s and the orange will be my 1s. And we're going to do 3 rolls to try to gain some words that would help us in understanding what this place looks like, or this estate. And so the first roll we get 23, which is dead. So, I like this idea that maybe we show up and this whole place is just dead over. Maybe it's a farming plantation. Everything is just decimated, like a pestilence or sort of famine has struck the land, whatever the term would be, has struck the land and everything is dead. So I like this idea that dead would be a good word. Second roll, 32, home. So again, maybe this is the home of the family that gives there. I think that's pretty self-explanatory, but we'll say that this is their home. This is this place that these people love this place. It might be also the center of their business, but people are the inhabitants of this place are deathly worried about their own home. So I'm thinking as August and Tess arrive at this place, arriving by carriage or whatever, they see this giant mansion that is this giant sort of farmland or plantation that is run down and dead, and maybe it itself is actually pristine and beautiful looking, but something has struck the land around it and has completely destroyed everything. And maybe through the window she sees the figure of somebody, like a young child around her age, looking out the window and watching her approach. I like this idea, and like that's the home piece. And then finally, one more word, 32 again, and that would be fast. So fast. Maybe as she arrives in this place, the inhabitants or the lawyer meets her quickly as she gets out of the carriage. And what I wonder is this person, I'm going to say it's the lawyer who meets her. And the question I have is this lawyer, what does he do? Does he like approach the aunt thinking she's the person? So I'm going to say these are 50-50 odds. No, that's an extreme no. She goes straight to August. So there is she identifies August, or the lawyer identifies August as the person that he needs to greet. Because I thought it would be interesting if he's like surprised that there's a child detective here, and maybe he would lean into Tess. But a 100 is an extreme no. So that means that he is not surprised to see this young person. So that means maybe she has gained a little bit of a reputation as the person who looks into these things. And I'm thinking on the fast line, maybe he arrives and he's sort of like, it took you long enough, like, and maybe August is sort of like, hey, you just sent me the telegram this morning. And she's surprised that he's maybe so impatient. But he ushers them inside and begins relaying this story of takes him into, I think maybe he takes him into a room and he introduces himself, and let's give him a name. I actually want to pull some names from the Vaesen PDF because there's some good names that are listed here. So I'm going to give him the name of Isaac. So I'm going to go ahead and add Isaac here to my list. And this is the lawyer for the estate. So Isaac ushers August into the room or into the house and takes him to see the family. And maybe, I want to know how many people are sitting in this room. Or in my head, I think that the room that they're brought into is and the room that August is brought into has maybe the husband and wife who run the estate sitting there kind of looking over bills, like maybe the bills are on the table, like things are not going well. And he ushers us into the room and we meet both of these people. And I'm going to say the name of the estate is Sigurdsson family, the Sigurdsson family. I think that's interesting. Thomas Sigurdsson, owner of the estate, and Blinda will be the wife. All right, so we see them poring over maybe bills and all sorts of records and everything from dealing with this sort of very strange pestilence that has struck their land. And as they come in, maybe the lawyer Isaac introduces everybody and sits them down. And what I want to get to the quick of here is I sort of finish up the first leg of this investigation, and that I finish up sort of the general idea of how to use this approach, is I want to know what happened, what triggered this whole thing. So we're going to now take a step back and think about what is it that are the specifics of this this case. So that's where I want to draw some dice, use some cards, all that good stuff. So first things first, I want to use one of these sort of basic clues, kind of as an initial sort of launch into things, and see if that helps get an idea. Now, I may reject this idea, but I'm going to use it anyway, and I'm going to use the clues charts found in the solo play to get an idea. So a 66. So I'm thinking of this clue as an initial piece of information that we would maybe use in that teaser scene that we see earlier. So a 66 is the remains of a recent fire. So I'm thinking maybe in the beginning, let's actually go ahead and add an additional couple words so that we can use this for to help flesh this out. So we know that we have a recent fire that is part of this initial scene, this teaser scene. I'm actually going to jump up here and start outlining this. And we know that I want to now pick a few different words to sort of flesh this out. What was the thing that keyed in that there's some sort of broader issue going on here with a Vaesen or something supernatural? So let's go ahead and roll a few keywords again and see if we can get something to fill out the remains of a missing fire and the ultimate mystery that led to the failing crop. So a 35, kill, so something involving killing. 15, children, all right. And a 33, found. All right, so we have our three words, which are kill, children, and found. So what I want to now do is weave these into a scene that makes some sense, and we're going to use this sort of like yes-no keyword idea. So what I think of is if I'm thinking about fire and children, I'm thinking maybe there was a group of kids who were camping on the estate. So a question I would have there is, are the kids who are camping like the kids of people who work on the estate, or maybe were they trespassers, right? So I'm going to ask the question, were these kids trespassers on the estate? And I'm going to say 50-50 because I think this could go either direction. So were they trespassers on the estate? No, they were not. A 78, 50-50, no, they were not. So a group of kids who were related to workers on the estate were camping on the property. So the question with the kill question is interesting because I think kill and found, this could be interesting. What if they found some sort of dead livestock? Did they hear something? Did they hear a sound that maybe indicated something dead or something was dying? So the question is, did they find a dead animal? That's the question. So I'm going to say this is likely. So again, going back to our mythic, likely at a 65. Did they find something a 65 or under is a yes. No, they did not find it. It was an extreme no. So not only did they find something dead, I want to say they saw it being killed, right? So they didn't find it dead, they witnessed it being killed, okay? So this group of kids witnessed some sort of creature. Did they see, is the thing that they saw, did they believe it like was a Vaesen creature? I'm gonna say that was a strong likelihood, so likely. And so they believed it was a Vaesen, and on a 65, that is a yes. So they believed that they witnessed some sort of mythological or strange creature killing maybe some of the cattle or livestock that lives on this estate. Now, I know I'm getting a little jumbled up here, and like, was this a farm? Was it an estate? Was it a plantation? To me, that doesn't really matter. It's some sort of large agricultural or farmlands type estate that's way out in the woods that is very profitable and does very well. And so something killed one of their livestock, and so they found it. Maybe the workers came in and found the dead body, but the kids saw it getting killed. And here's a question. I haven't gotten there yet, but yeah, I don't want to look at this yet, but I'm thinking about it. So sort of bringing this whole scene together, I'm thinking that, group of kids were out here camping on the property one night, and they lit a fire, were out doing this, they heard an animal being attacked, they witnessed some sort of creature killing it, they got help. When they came back, they found livestock dead on the property. And then alongside of that, the crop began to fail too. So like they find dead animals, maybe they just begin to see like everything sort of start dropping, like everything starts dying, right? So that will be like our teaser scene, will be this group of kids camping, they're having a good time camping, and then something begins killing animals, and they begin to see, the whole state begins to see the effects of something killing all of the crops. Now the question I'm wondering, and I'm going to table it as a thought for August, and I'm just going to put this here under maybe some sort of lore piece. I'm going to create a new section on this sheet for clues. And the clue I have, or the question I have, and I don't want to answer it yet, but I want to make sure I keep it. Who was at the fire? And the question I want to know, and I'm going to put the question, and what I want to know was that little girl? Was the girl that was in the window at the fire? This is going to be a question I want August to ask as she investigates. So she's relayed, I'm just going to put here as a note that the events were relayed to her as to what happened, and then August is given free rein to begin investigating. So August is maybe taking notes as the story is recounted to her, and he offers a large sum of money to August to help discover the truth. And I want to know, like, does the owner of the estate believe it was a monster, or does he think there's a rival causing a problem? I think that's an interesting question. Was there a rival involved? Yeah, so another interesting question is there some other local sub-conflict that maybe the owner believes could be playing into things? So I'm just going to roll this and just see if I can come up with something. So on the chart, there's a local sub-conflict. I'm going to roll the 2d66. Do d6 to get my d66, and that's a 56. So on the sub-conflict table, this is starvation versus abundance. I think that's really interesting. So maybe the workers feel that they're not being properly cared for, or they're not getting enough food or money or whatever the case might be, and there's like a tension within that group. And I want to know, like, I want to say that that's a thing that's happening, and maybe it will flesh out more, but maybe what I'm interested in is this a suspicion that Thomas feels as well? Like, does he believe that's a possibility? I'm going to say likely that he believes this could be an issue, that he believes his workers are against him. So he maybe believes that this has all been made up by his workers because they're mad at him for not paying enough. And I just want to roll and see if that's the case. Does he feel that way? So I'm going to say this is very likely the case. So 75 or under. 21. 75. So yes. So maybe he doesn't believe. So Thomas tells him the whole story about what happened with the kids, and he doesn't believe this story. He believes that it's just his workers who are sabotaging his thing because he feels that they feel like he's ungrateful or he's not paying them enough. Now what I want to know is there, like, maybe, I think it could be interesting, like, is somebody else in the room who overhears him voice this concern? And I think, it's a pretty big estate, pretty likely the case that there's somebody in the room who overhears this concern and doesn't like it. So I'm going to say it's likely that that person hears it. So on this, that's a 99. So that's an extreme no. So nobody is in this room outside of these three people. And I'm going to say not only is there no one in there, no one suspects. Oh, gosh. I actually want to backpedal a little bit here. I'm going to say that, okay, actually I want to take this back. So on a 99, it's an extreme no. So not only is there nobody in the room, he has maybe thrown all of the workers off of the estate. They're gone. He's kicked them off. He's fired them. He's so convinced that this is the case that he's fired them. And they've now, or that they've all been sent from the property. We'll figure out whether they've been fired or not, but they're all gone from the property. And he's just like, you know what? I think they're the ones doing it. Get off my property. And he sent them all away. So the only people in this mansion at this point are his family. So obviously August agrees to help, and she's been offered a large sum of money to help do this and notoriety. And he's like, if you can solve this, you can prove that it's not a secret creature, it's this, I'll reward you handsomely, you know, I'll take good care of you. And he sends her off. So that's where I'm going to go ahead and end this video. And this is the first sort of section. This is leading all the way up to the beginning of the second act, which would be like the early investigative pieces. I want to continue doing this story, so I plan to do that. But what I'm thinking is I may not do it so directly as I'm going to do here. We'll just continue to play it out. But before I do that, I want to show you how to weave all these moments together into a draft that you can use to actually share your story. So that'll be the next video, is I'm going to actually weave together all this information into a first draft of like that teaser scene and the first scene where we meet August to when she receives the telegraph. So that's going to be what the next session is. If you guys all like this story and you were enjoying me sort of just playing this out, I'd love to see where like the end of this story goes as she begins to investigate, find Vaesen, see what goes on. We can just continue this as a series on the channel. I'll maybe do some more episodes just role-playing it out as a solo series. I think this is so much fun. I'd love this to be a normal thing on the channel, as I solo roleplay and take you guys through this. But for the purposes of using it to teach us how to write, I now want to bring this all together into a draft. So that'll be the next video. And then if we want to continue the story, I'll do that in subsequent videos going forward. If you want to get a link to this Word document that has my draft for this, you can click below to sign up for my email list. You'll receive an email that has all of my email list content, including a link for this Word document that you can copy and paste or just follow along as I add more information to it. I'm going to create a folder that sort of has everything, all the resources for August Scythe's adventure. And I just look forward to seeing the rest of this story, but mostly I want to make sure you guys see how you can use this to bring it all home. Let me know in the comments below if you want to see how the remainder of this story plays out, or if you just like this sort of content in general. I can totally keep doing this sort of thing and doing solo roleplay as a normal feature on the channel. I love solo roleplaying. It's so much fun and it's engaging for me to just be able to create new stories and see it all comes together. So I hope it's enjoyable for you. Next video in this series will be bringing it all together. Then I'll do a wrap-up session, and then we can continue on with this if we want to do that. So thanks for hanging out. Hope you're enjoying the adventure of August Scythe.